I found out my wife was cheating after setting up cameras, so I handed her divorce papers during our children's birthday celebration, then showed the video while everyone was having dessert. I need to express this before I lose it. I'm 32, work in IT security, and have been married for 8 years. We have a 5-year-old son who means everything to me. Lately, my wife has been nagging me about being emotionally distant. She claims I'm not engaged as a husband or father, saying I work too much, don't listen, and no longer make her feel valued. I took her concerns seriously. I know I'm not perfect. I can get fixated on my job. So, I made significant changes. I reduced my work hours from 60 to 40 a week, left my laptop at the office, made it home for dinner nightly, planned outings to the zoo or park, and organized date nights every other Friday. But it never seemed to be enough. The expectations kept changing. Now, she felt I wasn't connecting emotionally during our talks, merely going through the motions. She felt like a single parent, even though I was right there reading bedtime stories and cooking on weekends. The complaints intensified, becoming more harsh. She would explode over trivial matters, like me loading the dishwasher incorrectly or forgetting to ask about her mother's doctor's visit. Each argument ended with tears and accusations that I was the cause of her unhappiness and that she couldn't take it anymore. About 2 months ago, I noticed some warning signs. Her phone was constantly face down, and she took it to the bathroom, even for a quick break. Those wine nights with her friends went from once a month to twice a week. She joined a gym after years of mocking my morning workouts. She started wearing new clothes, using new perfume, and shaving more often. I'm not naive. I work in security, and I recognize when something is off. 3 weeks ago, we had another fight. I had taken half a day off to surprise her with lunch, but when I got home, her car was gone. She said she was shopping, but returned empty-handed. When I asked her about it, she exploded, accusing me of being controlling and paranoid, saying this was why she felt alone in our marriage, and that I was suffocating her with my toxic masculinity by questioning her every move. That night, after she went to bed, I sat in my home office, staring at the wall. Something had changed. This wasn't just about me being emotionally unavailable. It was about something else entirely. I could have confronted her, demanded to see her phone, checked her emails, or searched her car, but I didn't. Instead, I did what I do best. I gathered information. The next day, while she was at her book club and our son was at my parents' house, I set up cameras. Nothing extreme, just a few hidden ones in the main areas. Living room, kitchen, and hallway, high definition, motion activated, uploading directly to my secure cloud storage. I felt uneasy doing it, but I felt worse being manipulated every single day by someone who was supposed to be my partner. 1 week was all it took. I'm currently at my desk, watching the footage for the 3rd time. My hands aren't trembling. I'm not crying or even angry anymore, just numb. She wasn't at her book club, at the gym, or working late. She was being unfaithful on our couch, the one we bought together from that overpriced furniture store when we moved in, the one where we watched movies with our son. The first time was on Tuesday. I texted her that I was out for drinks with a client and would be home late. 20 minutes after I left, a car pulled up. A young guy, maybe 26 or 27, tall and fit, the type who likely shares gym selfies online. They didn't even make it past the living room. I watched my wife of 8 years undress for another man in our home, doing things she hadn't done with me in months, while our son's toys lay scattered on the floor around them. The audio is what gets me. The way she moaned his name, Brandon, telling him how much better he was than me and how she couldn't wait to leave her pathetic husband. On Wednesday, they were intimate in our kitchen, right on the island where I make pancakes for our son every Saturday morning. Friday was the worst. I was upstairs putting our son to bed while she claimed to be having a virtual wine night with her sister, needing the living room for girl talk. I could hear her laughing from the floor above while I read to our boy. She wasn't on a video call. Brandon was with her. They finished just 10 minutes before I came downstairs, and she kissed me goodnight with his taste still on her lips. I've saved all the footage, downloaded it, and sent a copy to my lawyer. Yes, I already have one, the best in the state. When you have clear video proof of infidelity, custody issues become much easier to handle. I haven't confronted her yet. She has no idea that I know. This morning, she complained that I didn't notice her new haircut, claiming it was typical of me to be so unaware. I did notice, and I also saw the hickey she tried to conceal with makeup. One Brandon had left on her neck. Our son's birthday is in 2 weeks, and she's planning a big party, inviting her entire family, all our friends, and even some of her coworkers. She's stressed about it, trying to portray the perfect mother and wife on social media, posting about how blessed she is. I told her to invite everyone and make it grand. I'm going to ensure that everyone finds out exactly who she really is. And the best part? When she called me emotionally unavailable last night, I just smiled and said, "You're right, honey. I'll work on that." 2 more weeks to pretend I don't know my marriage is over, to gather more evidence, and to plan the most unforgettable birthday party for my son. Because after that, I'm taking my son, my dignity, and everything I've worked for, and she can explain to everyone why she thought cheating was worth losing it all. I'm done being labeled emotionally unavailable. It's time to show her what being cold and calculated really looks like. Update 1 posted 5 days later. A lot of you have been messaging me for updates. I thought I'd share what's happened since my last post. First off, I'm doing well, sleeping fine, eating normally, and hitting the gym harder than ever. My mind is clear. Some of you were worried I might snap and do something reckless. Not happening. I have a son to raise and a future to build, and I'm not throwing that away for someone who already discarded me. Since my last post, I've collected enough evidence to secure a strong position in court. The camera footage alone is incriminating, but I've found much more. Credit card statements showing hotel charges on days she claimed to be at work conferences, Uber receipts to Brandon's apartment from 4 months ago, and screenshots of texts. She left her iPad logged in, a rookie mistake. I also found bank records indicating she's been diverting money to a separate account, accumulating about $15,000. The texts are brutal, not just hurtful but revealing full conversations about their future together. Apparently, Brandon believes he'll have a ready-made family once she divorces me. She's been telling him I'm abusive, controlling, and that she fears me, playing the victim while destroying our family. Here's the kicker. Brandon works at her company and is her subordinate. My lawyer laughed when I showed him that detail, saying it was like Christmas had come early. I've been playing my part perfectly, coming home with flowers, something I hadn't done in months, taking her out to dinner, and listening to her complain about the stress of planning our son's party. She even teared up, thinking maybe there was hope for us after all. The party planning has ramped up. We have 47 confirmed guests now. Her parents are flying in from out of state, and her sister is bringing her perfect family. The party is next Saturday, superhero-themed, since our son loves Spider-Man. I convinced her to go for the deluxe package, with a bounce house and face painting, and I even hired a photographer to capture the day. She has no idea what's coming. My lawyer has everything prepared. Divorce papers drawn up, a custody agreement that's airtight, and a financial freeze set to occur Monday morning. Her company's HR has been alerted about the improper relationship, and an investigation will begin then. By the end of the party, she'll have no husband, no house, no job, no money except her little secret stash, and no Brandon. He's been calling her nonstop, but she's ignoring him to focus on the party. My brother is flying in tomorrow to help set up, and he knows everything. So do my 3 closest friends. They'll be there for backup if any of her family tries to stir trouble. My lawyer will be on standby, and my parents will take my son for ice cream the moment I give the signal. She's been showering me with affection all week, cooking my favorite meals and initiating intimacy, but I'm too exhausted for that. No way I'm touching her. She's been telling me how excited she is to work on our relationship. This morning, she left a note in my lunch saying, "I love you," with a little heart. The same hand that wrote that note was wrapped around Brandon's just 72 hours ago. 3 more days until the party. 3 more days of this act. 3 more days until she learns what happens when you mistake kindness for weakness. Until she realizes that being calm doesn't mean being a pushover, and that I have proof of everything. For those suggesting I should reconsider for my son's sake, I am considering him. He deserves better than growing up in a home filled with deception. Better than a mother who prioritizes her affairs over being present. Better than believing this is what marriage looks like. Saturday can't come soon enough. Final update posted the day after the party. It's done. I'm sitting in my quiet living room, typing this while my son plays with his birthday gifts. He's happy, and that's what matters. So here's what happened. The morning started off perfectly, sunny and warm. My wife was up at 6 a.m., bustling around in a frenzy. I made coffee, helped set up tables, and played the supportive husband one last time. By noon, everything was in place. The bounce house was inflated, tables were decorated, and food was laid out. The TV was set up on the patio, already displaying a slideshow of family photos. The real show would come later. Guests started arriving around 1:45, her parents being the first. Her mom hugged me, saying I was a wonderful father, and her dad shook my hand, expressing pride in having me as a son-in-law. I didn't feel guilty, only satisfaction. By 2:30, everyone was there, 68 guests in total. Kids were joyfully bouncing in the bounce house while adults mingled with drinks. My wife was the perfect hostess, glowing with pride over her flawless party. Brandon texted her 15 times during the event. I know because she kept checking her phone, looking anxious. At one point, she went inside for 10 minutes and returned with puffy eyes, which she attributed to allergies. We did the cake at 3:30. Everyone gathered around to sing happy birthday. My son blew out the candles, and my wife gave a heartfelt speech about family and how blessed we were. That was my cue. I stood up and tapped my beer bottle with a knife. Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. The yard fell silent, and my wife smiled, likely expecting a sentimental speech about our perfect family. 8 years ago, I married the woman of my dreams. We built a life together and had this amazing child. I thought I knew what happiness was. People were smiling, her mom was tearing up. But recently, my wife told me something that opened my eyes. She said I was emotionally unavailable, distant, and not engaged as a husband or father. My wife's smile faltered as she sensed the shift. And you know what? She was right. I wasn't paying attention. I was so focused on work and providing that I missed what was happening right in front of me. I pulled out my phone and connected it to the TV. So, I decided to pay closer attention and discovered something interesting. The video began. The first clip showed her and Brandon entering our house, timestamp visible, him pushing her against the wall. Gasps rippled through the crowd. The second clip showed them on the couch, nothing graphic, just enough to be undeniable. Her on top of him, both clearly bare from the waist up. Someone screamed. I think it was her sister. The third clip had clear audio, her voice saying, God, Brandon, you're so much better than him. I can't wait to leave that pathetic F. Her mother fainted, literally collapsing. People rushed to help her. The fourth clip was her in our kitchen on the phone with Brandon, saying, just a few more months, baby. After I transfer enough money, we can start fresh. Her father stood up, face purple with anger, directed at her, not me. The video ended after 3 minutes and 47 seconds, the longest of my life. The yard erupted. Her boss immediately said, you're fired, and left without another word. Her college friends backed away from her as if she had a disease. Her sister screamed at her about how she could do this to her family. My wife stood there, frozen, her face shifting from white to red to white again. How could you? She whispered. How could I? I laughed. I pulled out the divorce papers and handed them to her in front of everyone. You have 1 hour to pack your things and leave. Take only your clothes. Everything else stays until the lawyers sort it out. She tried to speak, but her father interrupted, saying, Don't. Just don't. Get your things and go. Brandon chose that moment to show up, clearly unaware of what had happened. He walked into the backyard holding flowers, only to see the TV still displaying the last frame of the video. He saw everyone staring at him and my father-in-law charging at him. Brandon got knocked out with one punch. My parents took my son inside, telling him they were going for ice cream and a movie. He left happy and oblivious to the chaos unfolding behind him. It took my wife 45 minutes to pack. Her mother wouldn't look at her. Her father told her she was dead to him until she fixed this mess, and her sister called her a homewrecker. Before she left, she turned to me and said, I'm sorry. I replied, No, you're not. You're just sorry you got caught. She drove away at 4:43 p.m., the moment my new life officially began. The guests cleared out quickly after that, with lots of awkward goodbyes and pitying glances. Her family apologized profusely, and her father even hugged me, saying I would always be his son-in-law. My crew helped clean up, and we had the yard spotless by 6. The locksmith came at 6:30, changed all the locks, and updated the security codes. My son came home at 8, full of ice cream and stories about the movie. I tucked him in and told him Mom had to go on a work trip. When he asked if she would be back for breakfast, I said, No, buddy, but I'll make pancakes, extra syrup. He smiled and fell asleep. It's been 6 hours since she left, and she's called me 47 times, texting over 100 messages. Everything from I'm sorry to you're a monster, to please let me explain. I documented everything and sent it to my lawyer for harassment and threats, more ammunition. Brandon's fiancée reached out, thanking me for opening her eyes. She wants to coordinate to ensure that those two cheaters get nothing. Monday morning, her work will officially fire her for misconduct due to the investigation. The divorce will be finalized in 60 days thanks to our state's adultery laws, and she will receive nothing except her secret stash of about $15,000. I have my son, my house, and my peace. I'm finally emotionally available, focused on what really matters. Funny how that worked out. Thank you to everyone who followed this journey. Your support kept me sane. I'm not dating anytime soon, just enjoying time with my son. We're building a life based on honesty and real love. This is my final update, moving forward, not backward. Thank you for everything, Reddit. Signing off.